Okay, 17th of January, Rudy here. So in this video we're going to do some forecast on USD gold, Aussie dollar gold, relationship with Dow Jones index, and go through a list of our producers and their score, their fundamental score, from cheapest to most expensive. So it's a thriller. Alright, so USD gold. So we'll just work through the logic here. So back here, so when we were here, or when we broke out here, we could make this projection, this flagpole distance, and you add it to there. And that gives you a target price, which was pretty close. So now we're doing a similar thing. So we've got two flagpoles really. We've got this one here and this one here. So we've now broken out. So that basically puts us in a range between 5.2 and 4.8. But the stronger one, the more medium term one, is the 5.2. So far, so good. And it was interesting on Friday night. There was just in this hour here, a big wallop down. And all the gold stocks sold down, and then whoop. I don't know if boys are playing games or not. Anyway, it's recovered well with a nice daily candle there. Alright, so we'll do the Dow Jones first, because I know you're all excited about that. So that looks pretty good, the Dow Jones index. Look at that. Perler. Alright, so what we do is we want to compare that Dow chart with this gold price to see what the relationship's doing. Okay, so what we do is we take the Dow and we divide it by the gold price. And voila, it gives us this lovely relationship. So we'll have it's the weekend, so we've got a bit of time. So basically when this is going up, the Dow's outperforming gold, gold outperforming, Dow outperforming, gold outperforming, Dow outperforming, gold outperforming, Dow outperforming, and we've now got this sort of head and shoulders rounded top that I haven't done. So what we do is a projection. So we take sort of like the length of the depth of the cup, and and we add it to the breakout, and that gives us a let me just go back again so we can get a bigger picture. Anyway, wait, I will do that. So basically that gives us this target here, and we can see, just go back so you can see that better. So you can see this relationship's now just breaking down. So gold is I guess you confirmed outperforming the Dow with a projection down to this level. And that could be the gold stays flat and the Dow crashes, which I don't think that's going to happen. Or the Dow stays flat and gold goes up. But if we go back down here, this projection actually reaches a long-term support level pretty close. So anyway, the point of that is to say there's still, you don't want to be in the Dow, you want to be in gold. That's the point of that. I hope that made sense. Okay, Aussie dollar gold. So we had the same sort of thing before. There's our flagpole. We broke the wedge here, so projection to there. So we hit there. We've got 2 flagpoles, so that gives us between 7.5 to 8.2 as the target level. Now, one thing, the gold miners, as you know, haven't really ran with the gold price. But what I've got here is these little lines here are the quarters. So last quarter, they were reporting average gold prices of 5.5, which is 120% margin. I think I used, what's the average, at 5.5. Yeah, so that's 5.5 gold price. I think it's assuming 2000 AISC. And anyway, so gold price now, so the margin, because the AISC stays relatively flat, so any increase in gold price is just cream. But I think we've got to wait for them to report. But it'll be like if they miss their production guidance, even though the gold price is up, they'll probably get walloped. All right. So here's the XGD, which is our gold index. So same thing, we had a flagpole, break, flagpole, target. So now we've got our new flagpoles, so we've got our new targets for the index to up around here. And then another little ratio for you. So this is the XGD over the Aussie dollar gold price. So you can see actually, so this is the gold outperforming the gold miners. And it's been relatively equal, but you can see now, because the gold miners should outperform the gold price because they get leverage. Gold doesn't have leverage. So we can see they're starting to break out now. So that's just all lining up very nicely. All right, so that's your gold theory targets. So now the gold stocks. Who's the cheapest? Who's the most expensive? All right. So let's just go to a weekly chart. Okay, so the way this works, because we're just focusing on production, is we take the market cap of the share, and then we divide it by their production. Now, Challenger's only for 3 years, and then because they've got to use that money to build a story. So that's the reason why they're cheap, because it's not like a long-term mine life thing. But that's how it works. So we take the market cap, and we want to look at the AISC, because that's not factored into this, and some are high and some are low. Hopefully that makes sense. So sell. Then we got Vertex. So they're on a score of 3, but we've got no idea about their costs. So, and that's reflected in the charts. So that's, well, at this stage, this is all just my personal opinion, not advice. But that doesn't look like it's ready to go. Okay, Kaiser Reef. So there are 6 now, but again, we've got no cost guidance. And also, if you follow these stocks and you know more info than me, let me know. But if they get to their target of 50k, then that's a score of 3. So cost guidance will be important for these guys because they could be a bargain. The old Bright Star, hey? It's a favourite. I know it's a crowd favourite. So they're right now they're a 10. So they're a 10 at 30, and they got a huge $4,000 ASC. It's double the average basically. Now, if they get to their target of 200k, then they're a 2. So they're a screaming bargain, but they just can't seem to get it going. So I don't know if you're going to hold it for fun, but that's it's just the facts. Okay, Resolute. So they're on a score of 8, but they got a high ASIC, 1800 USD. That was their guidance, and they came in at 2,200 USD. So that's about close to 3k Aussie. So yeah, that's why you got to mix up this score with the AISC. And there's a trend that the smaller ones have lower multiples, as you'll notice as we work through. Okay, so Black Cat, so they're a 9, but they're a 4.5 if they get to their 200. And again, they got a high ASIC, 2,600. A few of these you can see been entered into the share tipping comp. BCN used to be at the top of the cheap range, but oh no, that's not them. That's he's coming up. Sorry. So he's a 16 now, but he'll be a 7 at 60. So you can see a few of these if they hit their targets. MEC. It's a yucky. There's a number of it. You guys pick the tips from my videos. So they're in a score of 10. SBM. So they're on a 10 now and a 3.5 if they get to their 200. But they got an ASC of 4,200. So that's not great. Sorry, David. Then we got Alkane. So they're on 11. They got a high AISC though. Then we got WAF. They're on a 12 now. A low ASIC. So what is their ASIC? US. US 1100. Average is usually 1500. So, and then they're at 7 if they get to 500. Okay, then we got Volt. So they're on a 15 ASIC of 2,800. So that's high. And my understanding is they're 40% hedged till 2026-ish. Okay. KCN. Swati Cup in Thailand. 15. And a low ASIC. 1,200 USD. They got a bit of silver in there. And it excludes this project, basically. So none of this comes into this score. That's why I had to give them another tick. That's just... Yep. Okay, keep going, Rudy. Regis. So they're on 16 with a high 2,800 Aussie dollar. So 16 with a high ASIC. Pantoro, they're 16 now, 10 if they get to their target. CYL, that was a good tip this week already. Still waiting for my commission, or the rooster is. So CYL, they're on 16 now, high at 2,500 ASC. They'll be on a 10 if they get to 200. BGL, they're on a 16, about 2,800 ASC. Now, this is the fellow I was talking about. He used to be Mr. Cheap Man. So NMG, he's run a bit hard. So now he's on a 17. And at this stage, I don't know if there's any cost guidance. So if you're an NMG fan, who's on him? So Bobby's Bangers, let us know a bit more about NMG, please. West Gold, they're on a 17 with a high ASC. Perseus, so they're on a 17. So just I only make comments on ASC if they're sort of really below or really above. Otherwise, assume they're normal. Now this big fella here, Newmont, he's on a 16. So that's, he's still, well, we haven't even got to our big boys yet. So Dundee's on a 17 with a low ASC. Where's their ASC? They got silver. Oh, there we go. 1,000 USD. So that's cheap. They're the guys that bought Adriatic. So that's where I think the 10% silver comes in. Anyway, so that's Dundee. You can buy them here because they're over in, that's Canada, and you can get the one here. Same with Newmont. Evolution, they're on an 18 with a 1,600 Aussie dollar ASC. Northern Star, so they're on a 19 with 50 or 100,000 USD, going to 17 by 2027. OBM, so they're on a 20 and a high 2,800 ASC. So that's like double Northern Star and a higher. So it doesn't mean, it's just to give you some guidance. GGP, he's done very well. So he's on a 23. And his ACE is 2,400, but it's going to 1,100. So yeah, well that's it. That's the numbers. Emeralds, so they're on a 35 now with a low ASC, 1,500 Aussie. So this is where we get into expansion phase. So expensive now, but if they get to 300, they're at a 14. Remelius is at a 40 now, but they'll be a 16 at 500. So you can see there's, I guess people are paying up now for this with these guys, with these bunch now. Genesis is 21. So they're 42 now with the 2,400 ASC, but they'll go to 21 at 400. So getting a bit, well, that's why it's going from cheapest to most expensive. And then Capricorn takes the prize. So they're a 55 now and a 22 at 300, but they got a low 1,500 Aussie dollar. All right, so that's if you follow any of those stocks and you've read like the actual details and the numbers are wrong, let me know. I'll blame the rooster if there's any mistakes because he does all the research. All right. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did like that, give us a like. We're trying to hit benchmarks of 25% likes for the videos. Help us get promoted in the algorithm. All right. Till next time.